Why do we keep resisting the life we say that we want? Why do we keep self sabotaging ourselves whenever we're close to a breakthrough or whenever we feel some kind of upleveling? Why do we retreat into our old bad habits, destructive habits that keep us playing small and keep us stuck in the same vicious cycle of procrastination, delaying, and never taking action? Why do we go back into the comfort zone whenever we feel that we might actually succeed at something? Whether it's ruining our perfect diet that we had for the whole week only to end up with a full blown binge at the end of the weekend, whether it's not showing up for the course that we have signed up or not following through on the promises that we made to ourselves. Perfect diet during the week by having a full blown binge on the weekend, or whether it's not showing up for the course that we have signed up, or not following through on our promise to wake up early tomorrow to go to the gym. And instead, what we do is we hit the snooze button and then we turn in our bed as if we never took the decision to change our life that day. Why do we resist change so much? Is it because we fear losing our old self or old life? Or is it because we feel unworthy of our dreams and our goals? Why do we resist change so much? Is it because we fear letting go of our old life, losing our old life? Or is it because we feel unworthy of the new life that we want? Maybe it's because the comfort and the safety of the known and the predictable is way less painful and way less scary than the unknown and the challenges that come whenever we try something new. Why is it that every time we decide to take action on our goals, then the next minute we find ourselves doom scrolling or rewatching our favorite movie for the 100th times or doing anything but what we actually told ourselves that we would do? In his book, The War of Art, the author Stephen Pressfield describes the resistance faced by artists, creatives, entrepreneurs, any person who is looking to work on their goals. As in his book, The War of Art, the author Stephen Pressfield describes the resistance faced by many artists, creatives, or entrepreneurs whenever they are working on a project. And basically, he describes it as a internal force that opposes creativity and self-realization, manifesting itself as fear, as doubts, as procrastination, and inaction. It's a negative force that keeps you from your true calling and really stands between you and really stands between who you are now and who you are meant to be. And the more important is your project or your endeavor, the greater, the bigger the resistance will be. Whenever we try to take action to follow our dreams, the resistance will immediately kick in. It tries to keep you safe, it tries to keep you hidden, it tries to keep you safe, it tries to keep you hidden. It basically entices you to keep playing small so you will not fail and your ego will not be hurt. Because that's the real issue at the end of the day. It's being unwilling to try and being unwilling to fail. Because you fear looking foolish when you try something new. You fear opening yourself to judgment and ridicule whenever you try to pursue something whenever you try to pursue something that you're passionate about. And that's why we prefer familiarity over the freedom to start something fresh, to start something new, because it feels safer. Which is why we keep choosing familiarity over the freedom of starting something new because it feels safer and it feels which is why we keep choosing familiarity over and over again instead of the freedom of starting something new because it feels much safer. After all, the unknown feels scary, feels daunting. So we always look for excuses. We always look for reasons to justify our inactions and our decision to keep repeating the same and same mistakes. And in a way, letting go of your old habits, letting go of your old beliefs, letting go of your old identity, of your old life feels like a death sentence, right? It's literally the death of who you knew yourself to be. We resist the change because we fear letting go part of ourselves that we have known all our life, and if we fear losing control over ourselves and over our lives. Deep down, I think we all have a deep insecurity inside of us, um, where we believe that we might not be able to achieve our dreams, that we are not talented enough, that we are not smart enough, that we are not competent enough, and or even hardworking enough. That at the end of the day, we aren't worthy of our dreams because we put our dreams on a pedestal and ourselves way below. But I think the saddest part is really that we fail to realize, or maybe we realize it too late, that choosing comfort is also suffering in the long run. Instead of taking the accountability for our actions and actually do the work that is required to achieve our goals, we prefer to blame others, or it's easier to blame others and our circumstances and society instead of actually looking inside and see where we went wrong, where we didn't take the action that was needed, and how we actually let ourselves down because we kept failing ourselves again and again. And that realization, that awareness can be soul crushing. The burden of responsibility is not is not easy. It can be a very heavy burden to carry because it makes you realize that a lot of the things that you have gone through, a lot of the things that you have suffered through, sometimes are in part your fault. Realizing that we are the reason why we're not living our dream life can be devastating. But I think it's also important that we are honest with ourselves, and we ask ourselves, will I still choose my life if I were given the chance to relive it again? Will I still make the same mistakes? Will I still take the same actions and decisions if I were to relive my life a second time? All our life, we try to keep ourselves safe and preserve our pride, our self esteem, never trying anything that would embarrass us, never trying anything that would make us look like fools. But we forgot that pain is a natural process of growth. We forgot that we started as beginners. When we tried to walk, we fell. When we tried to walk, we kept falling again and again and again. But did that stop us from walking ever again? No. We just got up and, walked and kept walking. Babies, and we were learning how to walk, we kept falling again and again and again. But did that ever stop us from walking again? Because we hurt ourselves, or maybe we looked foolish trying to do so? No, we knew instinctively that it was the natural process, that that pain was a natural process of learning how to walk or trying anything new. But then as we got older and we became adults, it's like we completely refused to accept any more pain, not realizing that this is keeping us stagnating instead of growing. Anything worthwhile is not easy. You can't magically wake up fit and toned if you never sweat at the gym. You can't wake up with your book written and completed if you never actually sat down at your desk and spent hours, days, months writing the book you always wanted to write. When I tried to record my first video, I remember facing so many obstacles and I was so close to giving up. It felt like a sign that I should not continue. But I told myself that I have given up many times before and it didn't get better. I didn't feel better. So I persevered, I kept going, and it wasn't easy, it wasn't pretty, it was messy, it was downright awful. I kept stumbling on my words. I felt like a fool. Um, at one point, I was so frustrated because I had to record again and again because my mic died, and then I forgot to press record at one point, and I remember thinking, this is really, I could see the self sabotage in action. I could see myself trying to stall myself, trying to not do the things I said I would do. But I persevered until the end, and at the end, I felt so proud. Not because it was the video was amazing, but because I actually did what I told myself that I will do. That I actually kept my promises to myself. That I finally showed up and I um, honored myself enough to respect my promise. And I think that's the most important thing that we need to realize whenever we try to achieve our goals, um, work on our projects. It's important that we keep our promises to ourselves. It's important that we realize that the only way we can respect ourselves is by doing what we told ourselves that we will do. We have no problem showing up for work. We have no problem showing up, going to school. So why are we facing so much resistance whenever we need to show up for ourselves, whenever we need to show up for our dreams? Why should our goals and dreams be any less important than that of our employer, right? It's important that we realize that we are the ones who are living our lives. We are the ones we've been waiting for. No one's gonna show up to save us, and no one will make it happen for us. We are the only ones who can do it. I think it's really important that we change our mindset and we start believing that we are actually capable of change. We are worthy of our goals. We are worthy of our dreams. We already have what it takes to accomplish what it is that we want. Because I think there's nothing more painful than coming to the end of your life and realizing that you kept yourself small, you kept yourself from trying just because the only thing that was holding you back was fear of failure and fear of judgment, right? And again, I think it's important that we realize that people will judge no matter what. They will always judge, but they will also forget about you uh, in much less time than you think. By the end of the afternoon, usually people have moved on and already thinking or talking about something else. So even if you do face judgment or embarrassment, it's very short lived. So I think it is a small sacrifice to pay for uh for following your dreams. While you will be facing failures whenever you try something new, whenever you pursue your passion, I think it's also important to realize that yes, it will be uncomfortable. Your ego will be bruised, but like any other bruise, that's going to fade away. That's going to heal, and you'll just come out um, you'll come out stronger, but also more aware of um, where you need to adjust yourself and where you can do things better for the next time. I think it's also important that we realize that we gain nothing by playing small and by trying to appease everyone, by trying to not stand out. It's not gonna make you accepted or liked. Because how how can people accept you if you don't even accept yourself? How can people respect you if you are not respecting yourself? How can people like you if you don't even like yourself, right? Because you need to realize that how you treat yourself is how others will treat you as well. You cannot gain others' approval if you don't have your own approval. If your whole demeanor screams of self-disrespect and feeling unimportant, afraid to take space, afraid to speak up, afraid to stand your ground, that will send a message to others that this is how you should be treated. So next time when you find yourself procrastinating and telling yourself that tomorrow you will start your diet, tomorrow you will start your fitness regime, whatever it is, tomorrow you will actually sit down at your desk and write your book or start your YouTube channel, whatever is the project you want to do, don't wait for tomorrow. Start immediately. No matter how small the action, just start something and uh, gain the momentum. Uh, Stack the odds in your favors that yes, if I was able to show up today, no matter how imperfect, tomorrow I'll do even more. I'll do even better. When you will be working on your ideas or your project, let go of the perfectionism. Let go of the idea that it has to be perfect. Try to take the habit of showing up and showing your project or your work before you feel it's ready, before you feel that you're done. Because another thing is that we fail to realize is that we actually gain a lot through the process itself. Not only the feedback that we will receive, but also proving to yourself that you are actually capable of following through, right? And unfortunately, it's not because we are able to overcome resistance once that it will disappear forever. Resistance will always be there every day, and it is up to us to conquer it every day, to show up every day, to practice, to try every day. It's basically just training a muscle. It's developing the habit of showing up despite the fear, showing up despite the doubts, showing up despite the resistance. And whenever you feel that resistance, whenever you feel that urge to give up, remember that resistance only shows up when you're doing something that matters to you. Because it's never going to show up when you're doing something um useless or unimportant, like, I don't know, scrolling on social media or watching a movie, something that is not only numbing but also not bringing you anything in the long run. Resistance will always rear its ugly head whenever it feels you're trying to level up, whenever it feels that you're trying to leave your comfort zone and you're trying to break the shackles of your old identity and your old habits and your old beliefs. That's when it's really gonna kick in because it wants to protect itself. It wants to protect the ego from being hurt, from being seen, from being heard. So next time you feel scared, use it as your compass instead. Tell yourself, oh, okay, because I'm scared, I need to do this. Because I feel this overwhelming urge to give up, it's a sign that I actually must persevere. You cannot wait for change to happen. Change never comes to you. You make it happen. You create the opportunity. You take the action. And then change is going to be the result. Change is never the catalyst, right? Because you are the catalyst. If you retain one thing from today's video, I think it should be the realization that you don't have to have it all figured out, and there is no enough preparation that's going to prepare you for the actual work, because at the end of the day you cannot wait for the perfect moment to start. There's no perfect moment, and the only thing that matters is really doing the work. It's actually showing up every day and trying, and trying despite all the fears, trying despite all the obstacles. That's really what will uh, that's really the only thing that's gonna matter at the end of the day. That's the only thing that will make change happen. Thank you for listening and staying until the end. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe if you feel like doing so, and please share it with whoever might want to hear it. And also, please share in the comments if you're currently going through a resistance phase as well, or if you had a resistance phase, what did you do to overcome it and get yourself into action? Wishing you a wonderful evening, wishing you a wonderful day or evening wherever you are, and please stay safe, please stay strong, and most importantly, start living the life that you always wanted to. Bye, everyone.